Hi guys, my name is Nicole. This is my first ever video for my new beauty channel, which I am going to focus on doing makeup for anyone who has scarring. So if you're coming to watch this video, there's definitely a reason why you're coming. For me, this is why. And I wanted to start this channel to inspire women who have scarring, whether it's from an accident or surgery like mine, burning, anything like that, or even acne scarring. I wanted to just inspire them and empower them with these videos, showing that you are beautiful no matter what. And this is actually a really vulnerable beginning for me, just because this isn't something that I talk about a lot. Surprisingly, no one really asked me about it. And I actually have never gotten bullied for it, which is actually amazing. And I wanted to kind of show that I do have anxiety over it, but I've learned to live with it and learned to love it. And for women who want to put on makeup over their scars, there's nothing wrong with that, because you should do whatever you're comfortable with. And I have always really been ashamed of it. Whenever I take pictures, I usually will kind of hide my face or like do these crazy angles to like try and hide it. But why should I be ashamed of something that's on my face? And I've decided to live with it. Personally, I don't really want to get extra surgery for it, just because I don't have really the time to do that. Maybe sometime in the future I will, and then I will show you guys what's going on. But my story is that I had a huge birthmark on my face when I was born. It was all over right here, and it was dark, hairy, and frankly not cute. So my parents decided to get rid of it through surgery, and the surgeons did a great job with it. I'm so happy that my parents made that really difficult decision, just because I think the scars are a little bit more easy to manage than a big birthmark would be. Just me personally. I've had to live with this every day, and it's something that I think about a lot, and now I finally built up the courage to tell you guys about it. So with that, I will just dive right into my first beauty tutorial, which is just an everyday look that I use to go to work. So enjoy, and thank you. Okay, so the first thing that I usually put on is this Kiehls Ultra Facial Cream. This is the best moisturizer that has worked for me, so I'll just dab a little bit on. Rub it in. And I find that a little bit goes a long way. And then the second thing that I do, because I have really dry under eyes, especially because of the scar, it gets really flaky. So I've tried a lot of different eye creams, and this one, the Fresh Rose hydrating eye cream, is the best one that I found works for me. It's a little bit expensive, but I think it's worth the money, because instead of buying all these different products where they don't actually work, so you're spending a lot of money on products that don't work. So why not just spend it on a really good product? Next is the Biore sunscreen. This is actually considered illegal in the United States, just because it has ingredients from Japan that haven't been approved by the FDA in the US, which is extremely slow to approve sunscreen products. I'll do another post about sunscreen and all the different kinds of sunscreen and why I'm using this one. So sunscreen in general is super important to prevent aging and all that good stuff. So I'll put on a good layer. Even if you're walking to and from the car every day, that's still a lot of exposure to the sun. And then next is my Laura Mercier primer. This is a really light primer. I think this is one of the better ones just because it doesn't cause me to break out. If I can get this out of the tube, great. Okay, so I will just put this all over my scar. Get it all up in there. And then put it like this. And then usually just for the day, I won't put on too much primer. It's really just for the scar area to fill in the little indents. I don't want it to cause me to break out. There you go. Okay, and then next is this Dermablend Foundation, which I really love. A little bit really goes a long way because it's pretty full coverage. I don't like makeup to be caked onto my face, so I won't add too much of it. And then I will blend in this Shiseido White Lucent Brightener with it, just to give it a little bit of shine. So that's about how much I'm using. And then I'll just rub it in all together and then make sure it's all blended. And apply it just to the spots on your face where you think you need it. Put in a little more on this side for me. A little bit on the forehead. I always forget about this area, but also super important. And then I'll use my trusty little beauty blender, blend it all in over the face. For me, I think the beauty blender is better than my fingers just because it blends it in and does its job. And you're not just kind of smearing it all over the place with your dirty fingers. So I have some left, so I'll just do that. Put it over my scar area. Okay, so this is when the concealing starts to happen. So I'll go with the Dermablend Cover Cream. My shade is Natural Beige. And then I have a Kat Von D brush that I actually just got yesterday, and I love it. It's amazing. So just put on a good amount of concealer on here, and then start applying it to the scar on the side. So this part here, so you can see what I'm doing. I usually will just dab it in there for the indentations and just make sure that is all good. And then use your beauty blender to blend it in. And I find the key for scarring is layering. One layer isn't gonna do it if you want good coverage, so you just keep on doing the same thing, dabbing it in. For day-to-day makeup, I'll usually just do 2 layers. I know no matter how much makeup I put on, it's not gonna be completely gone, so I will just do 2 layers and call it a day. For going out and you want to look good, I would recommend maybe like 3 or 4 layers. So then I'll start applying and doing under my eye, right here. Just gently spreading it around. Again, beauty blender. My skin, as you can see right here, it's a little bit dry today because I was bad and I didn't fully take off my makeup last night, so when that kind of thing happens, it gets really irritated overnight. So I need to be better about that. And then because I have a little bit of redness right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and put some concealer on there as well. Okay, Beauty blender. So you can see it's better. And then I'm gonna do it one more time right here just because it's so irritated and dry. Okay. And then from there, this area, I will just dab like I did the first part. And pull it all the way down. Okay, and then blend again. Okay, so that part is done. So next I go over it with this Quick Fix concealer, which is a thicker concealer from Dermablend. So I will just use that. I find it doesn't really work on the indentations well. You can still see the concealer really badly, so I'll put it under here to sort of fill in my big indentation. So you just spread it all around. And then Beauty blender again. And gently dab it in. And then I'll just do the same thing again. Again, key is layering. See, so it looks like that. Blending. Alright. So alrighty. I will do my eyeshadow. So that's really it for the coverage part. I think that's the best I can do today. And then here is my eyeshadow. I love ColourPop. It's a great brand just because it's so cheap. I think the eyeshadows are like $5. And the colors for me are amazing. So I have this kind of purpley shimmer, which goes good with brown eyes and olive skin. So I'll just dab a little bit on there. And then dab it onto my eyelid. And this gives a really nice sheer. You can build it on, but for daytime, just do a little bit of this. Just so I have a little sparkle in my eye. And next, I was using the Stila All Day Liquid Liner, but I recently switched to Kat Von D just because the Sephora that I went to was out of stock, and I actually really like this liner. I'd say it's about the same as the Stila one. So I will usually start on the outside. I like to do a cat eye personally because my eyes droop down a little bit. I find that the cat eye lifts my eye. So I'll start on the out and work my way in. And then fill in the waterline. Big difference. See this eye? This eye. And then look at the other eye. Next up is the Anastasia brow pencil, and I have been using this forever, and I think it's amazing for my Asian eyebrows. Really need to sharpen that. I think I did it a little bit darker than I usually like it. So I'll just brush it out a little bit. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit darker than I'll usually do it. And I'll just use my fingers to go over it to make it look a little bit more natural. And then the last thing that I do is put on my powder. I use this Dermablend one. It's just loose setting powder. It's white. So I will dip my brush in it. And then go over it gently. You want to go over any scarring really gently and sort of just pat it on so that you're not smearing it all around. And then for the rest of my skin, just go like this. Just whatever. Do a little bit over my eyebrows just to set it into place. And that's it. Okay, so here's the finished product. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with a new video on Saturday morning. Bye!